Oversharing on TikTok is getting out of control. And for some people, oversharing on TikTok is ruining their life.
Now, she has a Class E felony charges. She could serve jail time for this. She could not. But ultimately, this is on her record forever. And sometimes, you guys, social media is not the first place you should run to.
Let's bring back diaries. It's almost every day that I see a video on TikTok and I'm like, why on earth would you post that? People are sharing way too much. From what I've seen, oversharing on TikTok is sharing personal or private matters, and what was shared naturally creates material consequences, either emotionally, physically, or legally, especially when the person that posted it didn't consider those consequences beforehand, or the viewers themselves are widely questioning why would they post that. Some people do that by filming and posting their vulnerable moments. Some people rely on their audience to solve basic problems, and some even go as far as posting evidence of their crimes. Today, we're looking at a few of the different ways that people overshare on TikTok and the consequences that often follow. The first way that people tend to overshare on TikTok is filming and posting their raw emotional moments. People who film themselves crying are a prime example of this. It's pretty clear in a lot of cases that they're doing this because they see TikTok as their personal diary or as their friend.
Let's talk about why I film myself crying. This account to me has always been my outlet. When I go through a feeling or an experience, I immediately think, okay, I need to look back on this and remember it. And because this is my form of outlet, the first thing I think of is I need to record this.
It's really hard to imagine that posting something emotionally difficult is productive to healing and moving forward, because now that person has to manage the public reaction to what they posted on top of what they're already going through. And it's one thing to film and post your own emotional experiences, and I would say if you've considered the implications and still want to do it, okay, cool, that's you. But it's quite another thing for a parent to film and post their child's most vulnerable moments. Family vloggers do this a lot, like this mom on TikTok who decided to film and post every aspect of her son's stomach issues and their trips to the ER. This video has over 2 million views. She was filming her son while he's in pain and while he's having certain tests and procedures done. And if that wasn't bad enough, she was giving detailed updates every step of the way, treating the entire process like a FaceTime call between a close friend or a family member, all the way down to how she ends the video.
After we get home and I get him resting, we'll call you guys back later. Love you, bye.
People in the comments were horrified at this level of oversharing. You don't need to update us. It's none of our business. Not everything has to be filmed and published. Do children have any privacy these days? Her response to everyone's concerns were interesting, to say the least. But I'll talk more about that after a word from today's sponsor, Grow Therapy. While TikTok might be one of the worst places to vent about personal issues and process emotionally challenging experiences, therapy is one of the best. I've been in therapy for nearly 4 years, and I attribute it to a lot of growth and healing in my own life. And one of the hardest things about starting therapy was finding the right therapist for me. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about Grow Therapy. Grow Therapy makes it easier to find and connect with a licensed therapist that meets your needs, schedule, and budget. They have over 25,000 licensed and vetted providers to choose from, including psychiatrists if you're looking for medication management. You have a lot of flexibility for booking appointments that work with your schedule, like booking nights and weekends and choosing between in-person and virtual sessions. Grow Therapy works with over 125 insurance plans, including Medicaid in some states. Sessions average $21, with some people paying as little as $0 depending on their plan. Unlike other services, you only pay per session, so no subscriptions or commitments to worry about. And if your initial choice for a provider doesn't end up being the right fit for you, then it's just as easy to switch providers. Visit growtherapy.co/SidsInternet or scan the QR code to find the right therapist for you. And thank you to Grow Therapy for sponsoring this video.
It's too raw and real. Put your phone away. It's what? Because he's full of poop? Because he had to fart? Oh, we're not adults here? Oh, if you're not 18, scroll, baby, scroll.
Her child that she's broadcasting. He isn't an adult.
I'm a mom. I've been a mom for 8 years. A little poop, a little fart doesn't bother me. My bad.
As universal as pooping is, people usually do so behind closed doors and then can decide for themselves whether or not they want to share details about it. She just went ahead and did it for him to an audience of millions of people. It's not about you. It's about him, his privacy. I fear it's more so about your kids' safety, posting you dressing them, their medical things. The internet is scary, and even more with AI. From there, she continued oversharing new developments from this whole thing with her son, and her audience audience continued to push back. I would be so pissed if I had to get an enema as a child and my mom was filming and posting my face on the internet. May I never be this desperate for views that I use my child for content. And she responded again, and her response again missed the entire point.
If you really want to know the truth, I never even really posted my children. My children recently just started getting posted when I started posting on TikTok.
Well, the TikToks are the problem in question.
Why, you may ask? Because tomorrow isn't promised. You know that tomorrow is not promised. And if all I have is a video, strike me dead.
It goes without saying that there's a big difference between like filming something for your memories and it staying in your camera roll versus posting that video on TikTok for millions of people to consume. To me, this seems like an echo of treating TikTok as your personal diary, right? This is her story as a mother. So when the audience themselves are resisting receiving such detailed and intimate information about what's going on with her son, she's taking it as a criticism as to whether she's doing enough for her kids. And from what I saw, no one really brought that into question. People were suggesting that those moments belong to her son and are way too private to be posting to TikTok.
Don't be mad because you're f***ing jealous and you literally wish you could be half the mom I am today.
I don't know who she's talking to. The caption on this video says, "If sharing my everyday life as a mother looks like exploiting to you, you've probably never seen a present parent." What? Like, but she's not the only person to completely miss the point when audiences resist oversharing, because there's a well-documented cycle at this point. I even have a previous video talking about it. The cycle is wives and girlfriends will post a TikTok of their husband being rude or inconsiderate. People in the audience come to the natural conclusion that he's a terrible partner, and then she gets upset that people think that and then defends his behavior. And every time it's like, what did you think was going to happen? If you need people to see your partner and your relationship in a certain way, why'd you post that? And this cycle, it goes on and it happens so many times that people are sick of it. The first comment that you'll probably see on one of these videos is something like, "So if you're not leaving him, I don't want to hear it." And still they continue to post their partner's terrible behavior and then get mad at their audience for thinking he sucks. "Does anyone have a doghouse I can borrow? My boyfriend booked himself first class while I'm back in economy plus." Out of all of the people talking about how inconsiderate they think her boyfriend is, these are the two most liked comments. Leave him or leave us out. Let me guess, he's the best boyfriend ever and we're all overreacting.
The world's gonna shake and break because I didn't fly first class. I promise you I'm okay. My money's his money's my money. I didn't want anybody spending $2,000 on a 4-hour plane ride where I was totally fine in economy plus.
I didn't want the first class seat. Then what was the original video for? All people did was enthusiastically agree with her. And now it was a joke. It doesn't matter. What people do with their relationship and the people they decide to associate with is their business. But once they put that business online and post something that paints their partner in a negative light, that ship has sailed. They can't take it back and they won't be able to force millions of people to think positively of their partner instead. Influencer Hallie Kate talked about how much she regrets oversharing details of her previous breakup because they eventually got back together and now they're engaged. And even though it's been years, people still express negative opinions of him and negative opinions of her getting back together with him.
Sharing my breakup as a whole is one of the biggest regrets of my entire life. You can trust me on that. My content used to be very heavily oversharing. I think that's why a lot of people started following me. So obviously when something really big happened in my life, I felt I absolutely had to overshare it. At the same time, I was 22. I was dumb and immature and I didn't really realize the repercussions.
I would bet no one regrets oversharing on TikTok more than people who snitch on themselves, showing everyone evidence of crimes they committed. This woman who posted a TikTok sharing her disgusting and possibly illegal travel hack.
I'm about to show you guys one of the coolest tricks ever. Say you're traveling and you didn't pack enough underwear and you're just like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna wear tomorrow? Every room has like a coffee pot thing in it. Every room. Even the other coffee makers where it like brews through. All you have to do, put your underwear where you would put the coffee grounds. You close it, you press brew, and it puts scorching hot water through it. You guys, then the hairdryer in the bathroom, you blow dry those bad boys, and you got yourself a cleaner pair of underwear.
This is highly unsanitary. Why would you suggest this to anyone? This has to be an arrestable offense. This is a health code violation. You can and should be charged. This is so awful that TikTok attached a footnote to the video that says, "This isn't a hack, it's product tampering. In the US, intentionally contaminating anything used for food/drink can fall under consumer product tampering, plus state health code violations and property damage/misuse. In hotels/Airbnbs, that's also a breach of sanitation and safety regulations that can create civil liability if someone gets sick. Running water through it doesn't sanitize it. This is gross, unsafe, and legally risky." It's rumored that she was being sued by the hotel that she was staying at after posting this video, but I don't know whether or how true that is. But what I do know is that this guy broke a pipe that flooded a parking garage. And do you want to know why I know that? Because he was the one who posted a video of himself breaking the pipe and admitting that he was the one that the police were looking for. So the video he posted included him breaking the pipe from multiple angles, and then he includes a screen recording of a news article. Watch, water pipe used as a pull-up bar snaps, floods George Mason parking garage. And then the caption here says, "Officers at the university are asking for help finding the people responsible for damaging a water line inside George Mason's university's campus parking garage late March." Part of it I can't see. "Just willfully posting the evidence, like, I'm shocked. I'm crying, you're going to jail." It doesn't seem like he was arrested for this, but he will likely be held financially responsible for the damages. Someone who was definitely arrested was someone who TikTok calls DoorDash Girl. Police said that Henderson was working for DoorDash, the online food ordering and delivery service, when she took an order for Wendy's and delivered it to a customer in the city of Oswego. She arrived at the customer's apartment and found the door open, police said, and the customer lying on the couch with his pants and underwear around his ankles. Henderson reported the incident the next day, police said, and officers began an investigation. But police said Henderson had recorded a video of the partially nude man from outside his apartment and posted it on the social media platform TikTok. The video, in which Henderson suggests the man intentionally exposed himself, was viewed nearly 30 million times before it was removed.
Let me show you guys her charges. She was charged with unlawful surveillance along with dissemination of surveillance images that were taken unlawfully. No one's allowed to surveillance you in your home, take those images and put it on the internet and probably profit and monetize off of them. That is what she subsequently ended up doing. Now, she has a Class E felony charges. She could serve jail time for this. She could not. But ultimately, this is on her record forever. Like, sometimes, you guys, social media is not the first place you should run to. Maybe talk to a lawyer. Maybe talk to an adult. Maybe talk to, I don't care, somebody that can give you information about how to move forward.
And the thing is, she could have still shared about this story on TikTok just without including those images in her storytime videos. But because she did include those images, she's the one in a lot of trouble now. Some people overshare on TikTok by the virtue of trying to solve basic problems by filming and asking TikTok for help. The consequences of this type of oversharing isn't as serious as some of the other examples that we've looked at, other than it being confusing as to why their instinct was to ask TikTok for help for something that had a very obvious and fast action to solve the problem. So this section might be a nice palate cleanser.
I was wondering if DoorDash support could contact me because I tried to I followed the route that they gave me on an e-bike and it's on the highway and I'm very scared because I can't get in the traffic or I might get hit. And I don't know how to get off of the highway now.
There's an exit like 200 feet in front of her. Girl, how you got up there? Ma'am, we're not DoorDash support. Did you try making a TikTok? Another person who was needlessly stuck was this travel influencer. Watch me have a crash out alone in Morocco because I have no money or food.
I know this sounds like so stupid, but I forgot that it was Ramadan here. And I spent like 2 hours this morning just walking around the city trying to find anything to eat. Even fast food like McDonald's was closed. So I started going to hotels to look at hotel restaurants and they were all closed. I was literally crying in the hotel lobby, so hungry, just trying to find food.
Girl, what the hell? All the supermarkets are open and you can pay with card. The supermarkets are open and you can use card there.
If you bake, I have a question. This says 2/3 cup of oil. Does that mean I use 2/3? So 2 cups of these, or not cups because a cup is a cup and this is a third. But is it, if it called for 2/3, is 2/3 2 of these?
Is 2/3 2/3? Are you asking me if 1 + 1 = 2? Even if she didn't know, like, you know what I mean? All right, y'all, those are some of the ways that I've noticed that people overshare on TikTok. Let me know if anything I said in this video stood out to you or anything I didn't mention. Since you guys loved my cat break so much from my last video, say hi to Miss Babs. Miss Bab. Her name is Abby, but I have a million nicknames for my cats. They literally just both climbed into my lap. So cute. So cute.